to today's live stream. I am coming at a different time this morning because this weekend is very exciting for me. I'm going away. So I've taken the day off work today and tomorrow. But yeah, so it's 11 o'clock, after 11 o'clock in the morning. So that's kind of a new time for me. So we'll see if more people jump on. Usually it's like a really random time, like 7:30 in the morning or something. So yeah, this is cool. Anyway, so today we're talking about why is gluten bad for anxiety. Also, I just want to apologize for Tuesday morning's live stream. It completely went crazy halfway through and it was really frustrating. But I figured it's probably because I'm trying to stream to Instagram as well as Facebook and YouTube. So that's probably a little too much for my tiny little hotspot. So today we're back to just streaming to Facebook and YouTube. So hopefully we shouldn't have issues. My apologies about that. So today we're talking about why is gluten bad for anxiety. But before I jump into that, just want to remind our YouTube friends to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and like this video and hit the bell so that you get notified next time I go live. The reason why you would want to do that, if this is your first video that you've stumbled across of mine, I'm all about equipping Christian women with understanding and knowledge and everything that they need in order to overcome mental health challenges. So if you might be struggling with suspected anxiety and depression, or maybe there's burnout, maybe work is driving you crazy and you're having panic attacks at work or something like that. I say that because that's what I went through. But I really feel called to speak into this and to free up Christian women from being in bondage to mental health struggles so that we can actually have an impact on this world, the impact that we were born and designed to have on this world for the kingdom of God that we can't have when we're honestly being attacked by the enemy in this way. I really believe it's a way that the enemy attacks us as Christians, because if he can keep us in bondage, and unable to even, just struggling to even make it through the day, then how are we supposed to make the impact that we can make if we're struggling so much? So that is my vision for this, is to help other Christian women be freed up from this, just the way that I was, the way that God brought me through this. Now it's my turn to turn back around, reach into the fire and help other people out of it as well. So all that to say, today we're talking about why is gluten bad for anxiety? As always, I have my notes in front of me because I need them to stay on track. But also there's a blog post that goes with this video. So in the description, you'll find a link to that. And if you prefer to read instead of watch, jump over there and read it on the blog. So the reason why I went gluten-free is actually because not to do with my mental health issues. I just happened to notice a great difference that it made on my mental health, but that's not the reason I went gluten-free. I actually have the MTHFR gene mutation, so gluten and dairy are big no-nos for me because it stops me from absorbing nutrients and things that my body needs. So that's why I went gluten-free, but then it had this really awesome effect on my mental health as well, which is what we're about to get into. So I'm definitely going to rely heavily on my notes for this because I don't obviously know this off the top of my head. This is straight from the blog post. So 3 reasons why gluten is bad for anxiety. So reason number 1 is gluten and the gut-brain connection. I'm sure we've all heard about the gut-brain connection. So the health of your gut directly impacts your mental health, and it's because of this gut-brain connection. So an inflamed gut, which is what gluten does to our gut, is it inflames it. So that's where all the issues come through. So an inflamed gut actually disrupts the signals to our brain, which then can contribute to feelings of anxiety and depression and stress and all of that. It really contributes to that. So that's number 1. Reason number 2, inflammation and anxiety. We just talked about inflammation, I know, but so consuming gluten regularly can lead to ongoing inflammation. And so this like chronic inflammation is linked to a bunch of mental health issues, including anxiety in particular. So if you're struggling with anxiety, maybe cutting out gluten could be a good thing to try. Just, doing little things here and there to help your mental health. And then number 3, gluten's impact on serotonin levels. This is completely news to me. I didn't know this until I did this article. So serotonin is obviously our feel-good chemical, and it's a neurotransmitter that plays a major role in regulating your mood and anxiety as well. So a lot of our serotonin is actually produced in our gut. I think it's like 90% or something like that. That's quite interesting. I didn't know that. So an inflamed and irritated gut, which, as I said, that's what gluten does. It inflames our gut and irritates it. So when your gut is inflamed and irritated, it interferes with your serotonin production. So then obviously anxiety and mood imbalances and things come from that. So then if you cut gluten out of your diet, you can just imagine the impact that that's going to have, because you can then your anxiety stabilizes because it affects your serotonin levels and things like that. Anyway, more information in the blog post, but that's kind of a rundown of that information. So if you do, as I said, if you're struggling with anxiety and depression, there's so many things that you can do. I was just talking on Tuesday about yesterday inside the private community about going and getting professional help. So that wasn't a public one. That was actually my story on how I first started seeing a psychologist, and then what that was like, and like how scary it was at first, the idea of it, and then it wasn't actually as scary as I thought, and what different sessions entail, and I went through all of that. So that's a big thing. It's one of the most important things, in my opinion, if you are struggling in this way. So there's that. There's like a bunch of different things. I love using aromatherapy when I'm feeling really panicked, to just that's honestly the only thing that just brings me back to peace when I'm feeling that way. So yeah, there's so many different things that we can do. And then diet obviously is something that we can look at. So gluten is something to just do some research into. Obviously there's like exercise as well you can do that improves mental health. So we go into all of that inside the private community. I'm just slowly plotting my way through different things that helped me to improve my mental health, so that hopefully that can help you, and you can learn something too, and learn some new techniques from me. So all that to say, I will also be sharing my gluten-free journey inside the private community as well. So please, if you are a Christian woman who is struggling with your mental health or your emotional well-being or burnout or whatever it may be, please jump into that group, because I've made it for you. I just want to fill it with women that need it. So and it's free. It's completely free. I'm not asking anything from you. I just honestly feel like God's calling me to do this. So jump in there if that's you. And if this topic of gluten is of interest to you, you'll also want to be in there, because I'll be going through my journey in being gluten-free in there as well. Okay, that's all I have.